Rob, g'day and welcome to Bumper to Bumper. How you going?
Yeah, well, Rusty, yourself?
Very good, thank you. Now, you've got an XA GT 73.
Yeah, that's it. It's a wild plum white interior. 4 owners since new. It's a beautiful car. It's a good nick and it's got a great history to it. So it's been a wonderful thing to have for the last 17 years.
All right, so quickly the history of it. What is the history?
It was a Ford employee's car. It was then sold to Keith Warren, Shane Warren's father.
Are you kidding?
No, he was in the back, but we had a look. There's no cricket balls when we pulled the back seat out. It was then
Mobile phones?
No, we were pretty careful too pulling the back seat. You never know what you'd find.
No.
But it was then sold to his best friend, and I bought it off him in 1997, and I've had it ever since.
All right. Now, originally, or has it been restored?
No, it had a paint job in 1987, just on the outside. So,
Yep.
And then I rebuilt the engine a few years ago myself, and other than that, the globe wheels being fitted because they had the option 52s. It's all as she came.
Unbelievable. Nice car. The Wild Plum is a rare colour?
It's a very rare colour. There was only 49 made out of coupes and sedans.
Yep.
This one's a one of one. There's one very similar to it. It's got a left-hand mirror. This one didn't get a left-hand mirror. But other than that, yeah, that is very unusual.
And you know what sets it off for me personally as well is the trim itself, the white trim, because that looks grouse.
Yeah, that was one thing I did look at when I was told about this car. It was Wild Plum. I thought, not sure, but when you get the white trim, it just sets it off magnificent, especially in the sunlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're not a Larry sort of a guy with the Wild Plum, are you?
No, but it would have been a pretty wild car back when it first came on the road because it was really one of those standout 70s psychedelic colours.
Yeah, absolutely. And those colours are actually more sought after these days than what you would probably think of your normal black or red or something along those lines.
Yeah, many people repainted them during the 80s and 90s, so you've got to go and have a look at them and check the paint code on the compliance plate, and you find that there are some very wild colours that Ford and Holden made in the 70s, and this one's lucky it hasn't been repainted red or blue.
True. Now, the other thing is 351.
351, it's a 4V. It's got this engine's been built to phase 4 specifications. Got the solid cam, the solid lifters, the 780 Holly, the factory manifold, the wing sump that they come out with, and the extractors that the phase 4s would have come out with.
And a manual as well, isn't it?
And a top loader, yeah, just for fun.
Absolutely. And how do you go cruising around on a day like today?
Oh, it's good to have a day off from work and be able to just get out in the car, start it up, go for a drive, pull the sunroof back, and just have some fun. Just relax with the world.
I couldn't say more so. Like today is a really beautiful day, and to get a go on. And this car, it's very, very clean and straight, mate.
Yeah, I did. I've got to admit, I spent a fair bit of time on it Friday giving it a polish. You've been sitting in the shed for 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't take it out very often. It's just never get time. And so, yeah, give it a good polish up and clean it, and comes up a treat and looks good and does the job.
Fantastic. And what I've got to say too is that I'm surprised that you've actually done the engine work on it yourself. So do you have a mechanical background? Because I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, there's not many people realise I'm a shoemaker by trade.
All right.
And then when that industry went down, I've always been into cars.
Yep.
And I've just learned to build them, and so Clevelands and Windsors and that I do myself, and they seem to go all right, and you just find a bit of time. It's good stress relief away from work to be able to stand back and be able to put a motor together and have it done, and yeah, just come up a treat.
Now, I've got to say, I take my hat off to people who can actually work on cars because they call me sexy fingers, and when it comes to cars, I should be keeping away from. Rob, I want to say thank you very much. Beautiful looking car, and thanks for coming down to the Wallan Swap Meet.
Absolute pleasure, Rusty. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Say goodbye, Rob.
Thanks, guys.